Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Trades Talk with me, your host, Pop. And on this stream, we take a look at the world through an industrial point of view. We'll definitely look into the skilled trades, the shortage that's going on out there. We'll have a look at some articles of what's in the news, what's going on. Are there layoffs coming? Are there facilities being built? We'll look at that. And we'll also check and see some incident reports. And then everyone's favorite time will come around. That'll be picture time, where I'll show you some pictures and videos of projects I've been working on. But before I get to all that, I'd like to say welcome to you, DJ Ronnie G. You guys should tune in to DJ Ronnie G. He's a great YouTube streamer as well. He usually streams on Thursdays. He calls it the Monday Show on Thursday. So you'll definitely have a good time. If you like learning about turtles and tech and astronomy, he's your man. And hello to you, Ketha33. Good to see you. You didn't know Canada had different Yes, Canada is divided up into several time zones, 5 or 6 at least. We've got Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern, and I want to say Atlantic. So yeah, about five times. Oh yeah, and then Newfoundland, which is a half hour ahead, is really weird. So there's like 6 time zones in Canada. But yes, I'm in Mountain Time Zone. Mountain Time sounds so rugged. Hey, it's Fabric Folds. How you doing, Fabric? Bonsoir, mes amis Kanakastanis. Je suis contraint de m'exprimer en français ce soir. Car je n'ai pas payé la taxe de 30% anglais dans la streams. Où sont les toilettes? That's probably all the phrases you know, eh, Fabric? Oh, nicely done. Well done. Sometimes I like to throw out the French accent there, eh? You smoke in the church and you eat the poutine and you think it's very good, eh? And watch the hockey. Hammer time, but with a whole mountain instead. There you go. Yes, DJ, that's what it is. Yeah, je suis. Je suis just means I am. That's all that means. You're currently imaging the Whirlpool Galaxy, catching that blue channel data that you missed last. Oh, fascinating. Yeah, like seriously, DJ's got an excellent setup of his telescope. Really good stuff. Like, man, some of the images he gets, just fantastic. Well, all right, I'm sure more people will show up as we go along here, but let's get to the news here. Let's see what's going on out there. And that'll be from Plant Magazine. Let's see, what have we got since we last checked on the news? Engine announces $79 million in new AI projects for manufacturers. Oh, that's a mistake. They're expecting this big return on investment with AI when in fact it's just been sucking a lot of money out of it and no return. AI isn't this end-all be-all that they thought it was going to be. Let's see, what's this? Canada's labor market is static after a year of U.S. tariffs and population shift. Thursday marks 1 year since U.S. President Donald Trump upended the global trading system with his Liberation Day duties, a major step in his wider tariff campaign that's hammered critical sectors of Canada's labor market. Gardening magazine. Yeah, Plant. There you go, DJ. Plant magazine. Je sais aussi où se trouve le club de striptease. Where is the beaver hut? Right, Fabric? Où est la hut de beaver? With roughly a year of employment data now in hand showing the impact of Trump's tariffs on Canadian jobs, economists say some of the early resilience to the trade disruption is giving way to a stalled labor market. A shrinking labor pool is also throttling job growth, experts warn. But if your labor pool is shrinking, that should mean that there won't be enough people to fill the jobs that are coming? Yeah, I guess so. And there are now risks that weaknesses could be spilling over from industries hard hit by tariffs into services and sectors not directly exposed to the new trading order. The labor market over the past year has been pretty stable, and maybe even a better word for that is static, said Brendan Bernard, senior economist at job search platform Indeed. While the particular Liberation Day tariffs were recently ruled illegal by the U.S. Supreme Court, the impact started even earlier for Canada, with threats in February that materialized into sector-specific tariffs in March that are still in effect. Statistics Canada's latest labor force survey for February shows the winners of losers after a year of tariffs. Manufacturing, a sector targeted directly by steep U.S. tariffs on steel, aluminum, and autos, has shed 51,800 jobs over the previous 12 months, leading all industries for losses. The bulk of those lost jobs were in manufacturing-heavy Ontario. Yeah, Ontario is definitely the manufacturing sector of Canada. Andrew De Capua, a principal economist at the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, says he is worried the pain isn't over for the automotive industry. Hey, what's up, Godzillionaire? How you doing? Well, with trade's deficit and Canadian healthcare, so your toilet is clogged in lieu of a plumber, have you considered state-assisted unsubscribing for life? Oh, well put. Yes. Could I offer you some maid in this trying time? Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Oh, as-tu entendu dire qu'une chaîne d'épiceries au Québec d'emplois qui se sont mis en grève? Wow, that's some high-level French you're speaking there. Apparently Fabric's having a seizure. Can we get him some help? Yeah. Oh no, I'm feeling French. I must have had a stroke, eh? Can only talk out of the side of my mouth like Jean Chrétien, eh? Remember that guy? Always talking out the... I remember when they had APEC and they hosted the APEC conference. I'd like to welcome all you APECers. Yeah, that was him, all right. Ugh. Anyways, let's try to get through here some more. Work contracts in this sector are often set over 6 or 12-month periods, he said. That could mean a further recalibration is coming for this part of the labor market as those contracts roll off the books. Statistics Canada said in March that the industrial capacity utilization rate, how much Canadian industries are collectively producing compared with their potential, was 78.5% in the fourth quarter of last year, down modestly from the previous quarter. If companies are not able to produce at these high levels, well, then they don't need the workers to fulfill the orders. So I just fear that the momentum and the weakness may continue. Desjardins senior economist Carrie Norman said the impact of tariffs has been steep on an individual and sectoral basis for many Canadian workers, but the hit to the national labor market has so far not been as bad as they initially feared. Don't forget, they always like to blow things up, make it a mountain out of a molehill, so they will always cry wolf and such. Tu es juste vexe que je n'ai pas encore maintenant les batteries à l'hydrogène. Yeah. Remember, Godzilla always likes those hydrogen cells. Hey, Veritex, how you doing? Ceasefire for 2 weeks. Iran already firing missiles at Israel. Diplomacy feels like a rejected Three Stooges short. Yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's just nuts that this is going on. That's enough of that. Apparently the grocery union in Quebec is on strike today. Oh no, not the Loblaws. I have to believe that's where Loblaws is from. Probably it's got its headquarters in Quebec. I wonder, I don't know. I'll have to see if there's a story about that. If you have a story about that, throw it in the chat there and we'll click on it and have a look at it. Let's see here. Norman said the outlook for manufacturing is highly dependent on the upcoming review of the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement later this year. If Canada exits that review with a firm commitment and tariff levels similar to where they stand today, Norman said she thinks we'll continue to see manufacturing level off rather than decline in terms of employment. StatsCan labor force survey shows goods producing sectors have collectively lost 34,000 positions year over year as of February, though service industries have more than offset those losses with a gain of 85,000 positions. Bob Loblaw. The Oblongs! Yeah, Bob Oblong. I remember watching that. No arms, no legs. Canada's healthcare sector led those gains, adding 92,000 jobs over the past year. Norman said that makes sense as provinces continue to invest in health staffing to care for an aging population. Strength in the services sector has been one reason Canada's unemployment rate hasn't deteriorated sharply over the past year. But there were signs in February of cracks in that resilience. StatCan reported an 84,000 job loss in the month, led by a contraction in services. When there's prolonged weakness on one side of the labor market, say because of a rapid tariff-driven drop-off in export demand, it can spread to the other side of the economy. DeCapua gave the example of an auto parts worker in Southwest Ontario losing a regular shift and therefore not getting a Tim Hortons coffee on the way to work. After a while, Tim Hortons might decide it doesn't need as many staff to meet dwindling demand and could eventually pull back on advertising too, spurring knockoff effects through the economy. Well, yeah, that's what happens. Hail to the Mountaineers, crowned as Crown Tournament champions. Let's go, Mountaineers. Hey, all right. Let's go, Mountaineers. You got her, Veritex. Cure those country roads. Yeah. DeCapua noted that provinces seeing the hardest hits from U.S. duties such as Ontario, Quebec, and British Columbia are also seeing less growth in services. I don't want to draw too many conclusions on that other than to say that there could be just this in general, weaker sentiment around U.S. tariffs, and it could be affecting sectors that are maybe not directly affected. They didn't mention Alberta in there about being hardest hit by the U.S. tariffs. Maybe it could be because we're doing the right thing and trying to leave. Bernard said it's not surprising that U.S. tariffs combined with a sharply slowing housing market are leading to spillover effects on Ontario's labor market. Some economists also view the steep job losses in February with a grain of salt. While the monthly labor force survey is well known among economists for its volatility, the less timely survey of employment, payroll, and hours, the SEPH offers a different perspective on the jobs market. Fabric, you heard about it today at the Beaver Hut. It was a Support Our Canadian Astronaut Day, so you're offering one free trip around the moon. And Tim Hortons owns Burger King. It's called, I think their parent company of Tim Hortons and Burger King is like called Restaurant Brands or something. Yeah, it's Tim Hortons is not Canadian owned anymore. It hasn't been for a while. So it's owned by a big conglomerate that owns a bunch of different fast food places. Tim Hortons has better donuts than any breakfast item on BK's menu. And you're told coffee too. I don't know. I don't go and get coffee at Tim Hortons. I'm not a coffee drinker. And also their donuts are not made fresh anymore like they used to be. They're just trucked in frozen and they just thaw them out. That's all they do. So it's not as good as it used to be. That was probably when it got sold to that big conglomerate. But whichever data source Canadians prefer to look at, Bernard said one thing is clear over the past year. Job growth by both metrics absolutely slowed down. The main driver of that, though, is what's going on with the population growth and demographics. That StatCan reported in March that the Canadian population shrank in 2025, the first year on record with an outright decline. With a growing number of baby boomers hitting retirement age and fewer young workers coming in to replace them, Bernard noted that the size of the labor force will likely be flat or even decline in the coming months. Well, yeah, it's going to happen. He said that means Canada needs to add fewer jobs to keep the unemployment rate steady. Monthly employment declines would have been more commonplace in the more volatile labor force survey. When the trend is flat, it's going to be bouncing around that flat number. Even absent the economy shifting, this is going to happen more. Desjardins outlook has the unemployment rate for 2026 holding at around 6.7%, right in line with February's figures. Cure is a very good type. Oh, it was Q, right? Enough potholes in them country roads from winter. Never mind in the country. Alberta roads in the city are just lousy with potholes. It's just terrible, all the frost heaving. Fabric, usually get your coffee at insert random gas station. Okay. That's where you, suppose it could be worse. Norman said that the status quo forecast might come with few pockets of job gains. The projected increases in government spending on defense and construction likely to spur hiring in those fields. She also suggested that high levels of youth unemployment might come down in the summer job season as energy price spike tied to the Iran war sends jet fuel and airfare costs soaring. That could push more Canadian families to vacation closer to home this year. That should help support the tourism sector in Canada and those youth jobs that correspond to that. Kazakhstan needs more babies? I volunteer as tribute. Never mind us. How about Japan? They really need it badly there. Okay, well, that's that one. Let's have a look and see what else here. Pretty slow news day. Almost 70% of organizations experience positive revenue impacts from wireless investments from Cisco. They experience positive revenue impacts from wireless investments. I don't get it. I don't get what they mean. What do they mean by wireless investments? Wi-Fi has evolved into a strategic growth engine capable of delivering a multiplier effect where a single network instrument investment can drive computing returns across productivity, customer engagement, and revenue, Cisco found in their inaugural State of Wireless report. The report, based on a survey of over 6,000 wireless decision makers and technical specialists across a range of industries, including manufacturing, natural resources, engineering, design and architecture, business services, and more, showed that 68% of organizations experience positive revenue impacts from wireless investments. Yeah, Veritex. Routers, switches, antennas, towers, repeaters. Maybe. We'll see what goes on here. However, these growth opportunities emerge alongside mounting complexity, and organizations must adapt to diverse connectivity needs and support a growing spectrum of users and devices. What does AI have to do with wireless? I don't know. As much as you love anime, you can never have children with a Japanese woman because red and yellow make orange. And we all know Orange Man bad. Trying to say the routing tables will be more efficient or something? I don't know. Let's see, Veritex. This mounting complexity is caused by what Cisco calls the wireless AI paradox, which identifies AI as both the leading driver for wireless return on investment and the primary source of escalating challenges. So it is both the cause and solution. Is that what they're getting at? To respond to these complexities and secure the maximum ROI from wireless project, companies need to address three interconnected barriers. Number one, operational complexity. 98% of organizations report increasing complexity driven by IoT proliferation and mission-critical workloads. In addition, 87% of organizations suffer from visibility gaps that make troubleshooting difficult. Organizations need to reduce complexity to facilitate a more streamlined lifecycle for employees. Number two, intensifying security threats. 85% of organizations experienced a wireless security incident in the last year, with 40% of organizations reporting annual losses exceeding $1 million due to wireless breaches. And number three, critical talent shortages. 86% of wireless leaders struggle to hire qualified staff as talent gravitates toward AI and general cybersecurity roles. Cisco's research identified 5 key recommendations to capture the multiplier effect and drive competitive advantage. Hey, Carl, how you doing? Carl's another great streamer here on YouTube. If you get a chance, you should check him out. He's pretty fun. He does a lot of video game chats and such. It's a good time. I know he'll get back to it. Probably he's on a break right now, but he'll be back to it in a month or so. Please let us know, Carl. Okay, so for their recommendations, number 1, accelerate your Wi-Fi refresh timeline. Whatever that means. Implement Agentics ops with high levels of automation. Okay. Establish end-to-end visibility and observability. Number 4, prioritize holistic security modernization. And number 5, build wireless talent pipeline through training and certifications. That's the only one I understood out of all that. I'm definitely not a tech guy because I didn't get that. Wireless breaches, translation, people's passwords or SIM cards getting cloned has nothing to do about wireless and everything to do about securing the supply chain. There you go, Veritax. You probably called that one. You suspect that Cisco is pretending to use AI to backdoor Internet of Things? You get that extra surveillance somehow? Oh, Carl's just door dashing right now. Cool, right on. And you'll be back full-time in June after your vacation. A well-earned break, that's for sure. Manufacturing is one of the top industries by percentage, predicting over 50% budget increases, with 28% of manufacturing respondents reporting they have increased their budget by more than 50% in the past 4 to 5 years, and 34% reporting they are increasing their budget by over 50% over the next 4 to 5 years. Complexity, security threats, that's got nothing to do with wireless, that's just the SOC. Every good enterprise needs a SOC. Okay, right on, Veritax. Holistic security modernization is an empty buzzword. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like word salad. Bypass the converginator and hardwire the flux capacitor. Yeah, there you go, Godzilla. Yeah, just throw out big words. Make yourself sound smart, right? We have to do this. Let's get the synergy flowing, right? Agentic Ops is AI, sure, but it's only one piece of this problem. But wireless, no, that's not the wireless. That's at the endpoints. Okay. Yeah, Ketha, modernization is a scary word. You bet it is. Especially when they don't know what to do about it. Sounds like Cisco just wants more business, and they're going to be like, you need to do this with our product, and it'll do all these things. It'll get your it'll get your agentic ops in line with your high-level automation and observability, and then you'll get your holistic security modernization. And, oh, yeah. So buy our stuff, and it'll be fine. That's pretty much what it is. Fabric. Carl, where are my nuggets? Where are my chicken nuggets? Oh, here's one that's got me worried, though. Champagne says boosting financial trade with China is key to broader diversification. I don't like that. That's not a good idea. It might be the issue is not that wireless isn't important. The issue is the reporter doesn't know anything about the topic to pull out why wireless is so important as primary access mode. Yeah, Veritax, that could very well be it. They're not fluent or even know what they're talking about. They probably got AI to write the article for them. Number of Linksys routers will no longer be sellable stateside due to security issues with firmware. Oh. Okay, yep. Good to know, DJ. Modernization equals add stuff that does things on an app, but it only works about 35% of the time. I hate that. Whenever they offer me something on an app or anything, I'm like, no thanks. Nope, I'm good, thanks. Don't need it. Don't want it. Something to do with big Eastern country? Yeah, I get it. ChatGPT's eating that oracle's lunch? Probably. Champagne is pronounced champagne. Yeah, very, very cultured Godzillionaire. Like, if you watch Futurama, Zap Brannigan was like, oh, Leela, can I offer you some champagne? Would be good for your phone to actually work. Oh, no. Don't text and drive, Kyle. Firmware auto update, yeah, big problem. Kefta, is nothing holistic about their plans? It never... Nothing is, that's right. It's champagne. Yeah, that's right. Now, one area where wireless is understated, sensors and remote Internet of Things control. Yes, Internet of Things. I don't care for the Internet of Things. I don't need my fridge, washer and dryer, dishwasher to be connected to the Internet. You know what I need them to do? I need them to work when I push the damn button. Hey, washing machine. Here, I'm pushing the button, wash my clothes. Fill up with water, swish around, drain the water and spin. Hey, dryer. Dry my clothes. Hit the button. Put the heat on. Dry the clothes for an hour. That's all I need. Hey, fridge. Keep my stuff cold. Hey, freezer. Keep my stuff even colder. I don't need it to do all this other fancy stuff. I need it to work properly. Take the money you're putting into the technology that you're going to do Internet of Things and make it into a better compressor for my fridge so it lasts longer. Yeah, I know it's not just appliances. That's just an example, Veritax. So in plants, yep. In vehicles, yep. Forests, yep. The author apparently does not get what Cisco is trying to say if he even asked Cisco. Who knows if they did? Okay, yeah. Being able to remotely sense your water or sewer flow rates are abnormal. Maybe send someone to check it. Sensors for heat as well. Yep. Yep, there you go. In New York, we demand that our fridge can sing to us on demand in a HAL 9000 voice. Hey, fridge, sing to me like HAL 9000. Everything is connected via Internet Things now. However, you now need 8-factor authentication to log in every time you get ice from your fridge. Handprint, hey, retina scan. I just want some ice. Nope. Cannot recognize face. No ice. All those wireless traffic cameras, yeah. Fabric, you have a smart TV. It shuts off after 4 hours and goes to screensaver. How smart is it? Hey, I'm watching that. It just shuts off on you. You know, we know how Canada is practically China on some of its surveillance ops. Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. This is why this article here, this has got me worried already, and I just read the title. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne wrapped up a trip to Beijing where he said the governor of the Bank of Canada and other top Canadian financial officials met with Chinese counterparts. Also, the government of the Bank of Canada is not elected. It's just like the Fed chairman is not elected by any of the public. They're just put there by people because they're private banks. They're not public or anything like that. It's a privately owned bank. Same with the Bank of Canada. Any bank that is bank of country is a central bank, which is privately owned. Champagne said that he met with Lan Fuan, China's finance minister and vice premier. He Lai Feng to talk about ways the Canadian financial services sector can increase operations in the country. He said this includes Canadian banks getting more licenses to offer a wider range of services in China and increased access to bond markets. Oh, that's not a good idea at all. If you want to expand your trade, you need financial services. You need to be able to provide that kind of services to the exporters that want to do more in the Chinese market, Champagne said. Minister added he expects Le Feng to visit Canada in the near future. Coming soon, age verification before the fridge will unlock. Ugh. No thanks. The minister said he raised Canada's stance on human rights. Yeah, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. You want to see the Chinese government leave a room in a hurry? Just mention human rights. Canada's stance on human rights and requirements for supply chain integrity after Liberal MP Michael Ma appeared to cast doubts on the use of forced labor in China during a parliamentary committee meeting last week. Well, somebody had to speak up. We did speak about supply chain integrity. That was a core message that I conveyed to our Chinese counterpart to say that obviously Canada puts a lot of importance on supply chain integrity and our bilateral trade needs to be conducted in accordance with international standards. And what are you going to do if they don't? What are you going to do if they don't comply? Hey, now, you're going to wag a finger at them? Oh, China, you're not being very nice to people. And yeah, what are they going to say? Get lost. Ma later apologized and said he had been asking about forced labor in Shenzhen, where most of China's electric vehicle production is located, not Xinjiang, where the Chinese government has been accused of widespread abuse against the Uyghurs. Okay, yeah. Well, I didn't mean that spot of oppression. I meant the other spot of oppression where things are happening. So yeah, like that makes a difference. What an idiot. Champagne said he also raised the issue of continued 25% Chinese tariffs on Canadian pork products. Fabric says, look, if you guys start basing Chinese troops in Canada again, we're going to invade. Please do. Yes, please. I want to be liberated. Flush these guys out of here. We don't need them here. You shouldn't have to have foreign troops on your soil doing things like that. The minister said he told Chinese counterparts that Canada wants to resolve trade irritants between the two countries and described these discussions as a clearinghouse for trade issues between the two countries. Our trading relationship is around $120 billion. If you look at the size of the Canadian economy and the size of the Chinese economy, it should be much higher than that, Champagne said. We will need to continue to push to remove these trade irritants so that the broader vision of increasing the trade between our two countries is accomplished. Don't do it. You're going to give them way too much control over here. These guys are wrecking the country on purpose. Champagne said there was a significant interest from China in purchasing more Canadian energy as the war in Iran and closure of the Strait of Hormuz disrupts global markets. I mean, do they want our oil? We should gladly sell it to them. We shouldn't let them buy up the land the oil is on. But I'm pretty sure that's their plan. They're going to do that. Numbskull Mark Carney, Prime Minister, traveled to China earlier this year to meet with President Xi Jinping. That meeting saw Canada reduce its tariff on Chinese electric vehicles from 100% to 6.1% and agree to import up to 49,000 vehicles annually. Oh, wow, they're going to import 49,000 coffins annually. Nice. Because trust me, you guys, those Chinese electric vehicles, they will just burn you to a crisp, and then they'll just fold up into a coffin, and there you go. You can get buried in the car that you bought. In return, China removed or reduced its tariffs on canola products and seafood until at least the end of 2026. Trade irritants is code for you're protecting yourself from our ability to meddle in your affair. Yes, Veritax. Hey, you read between the lines. Yep. Well, that's the news. Let's move along now. Let's see these articles here about Ontario mining faces critical skilled trades workforce crisis. Wow, so it's a crisis now. The skilled trade shortage in Ontario mining operations has reached critical levels, threatening the province's ability to capitalize on global critical minerals demand and technological advancement opportunities. This workforce crisis encompasses multiple trades, specializations, while reflecting broader demographic shifts, technological evolution, and geographic challenges unique to Northern Ontario's resource extraction sector. Understanding the scope of this transformation requires examining how modern mining operations have evolved from primarily manual extraction process to sophisticated technological ecosystems, requiring hybrid skill sets that combine mechanical expertise with digital literacy. Fancy words. The magnitude of Ontario's skilled trade shortage in Ontario mining operations reflects unprecedented demand intersecting with constrained supply. Current vacancy rates across essential trade positions exceed 15% in many mining districts, with specialized positions remaining unfilled for 40% longer than historical averages since 2020. Fun fact, canola is rapeseed. Yes, it is. It is rapeseed oil. They changed the name because it oddly wasn't selling. Yes. And it used to be used in World War II as a lubricant. And they use it on ships because the water wouldn't wash it off the machinery. And when the war ended, they had a surplus of rapeseed oil. And they're like, well, what can we do with it? Well, let's process it and sell it to people. And they did. And it's still sold to this day. So, number one is, I don't buy canola oil. I only buy olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil. And that's it. There's no need to buy highly processed oil like canola oil. Resource extraction equals taxes. Yes, that's what they extract from us, all right. Furthermore, Northern Ontario mining regions experience the most acute shortages, particularly in remote districts where geographic isolation compounds recruitment challenges. These shortages span multiple trades categories, from traditional electrical and welding roles to emerging automation and data management positions. Nobody wants to work up north. If you're isolated, there's nothing around, and you're in camp usually, and it's terrible. And it's usually long days and long shifts where you're like, 2 weeks in, 1 week out, or 3 weeks in, 1 week out. It's terrible. So that's why not a lot of people want to go up to work up north. You were watching a World War II Pacific documentary, and Japan was using soybean and rice oil in a lot of their... I've never heard of rice oil, but that's neat. They use it in a lot of their manufacturing in ships near the end of the war. Yeah, because they were cut off from their usual oil supplies where they would get their oil from. So they had to make do with anything. Necessity is the mother of invention. So they had to be creative and come up with stuff to use for their war machine. The key shortage indicators include mining electrician positions remain vacant for 6 to 8 months on average. Underground hazardous environment certification requires limiting candidate pools. Life safety system maintenance creating zero tolerance downtime expectations. Integration challenges between traditional electrical systems and automated controls. Welding specialists face similar demand pressures, particularly for roles requiring expertise in high-strength steel fabrication for mining equipment designed to operate continuously in harsh and underground environments. According to the Ontario Mining Association, the mining sector contributes significantly to provincial employment, yet workforce gaps continue expanding across multiple skilled trades categories. Well, they certainly sounds like they need quite a few guys there. Fabric, we have the same weather. Your air is just thicker. Yes. Did you get snow today? We got snow today. It snowed till about noon. I took out the snow plow or the skid steer and plowed all the paved areas. And by 1 o'clock, it was all melting. So, snow today. Just so you know, April the 7th, there was snow in Alberta. What else we got here? Heavy equipment technicians must now master both traditional mechanical systems and emerging electric vehicle technology, significantly expanding training requirements and limiting qualified candidate availability. Modern mining fleets include traditional diesel-powered equipment alongside battery electric vehicles required specialized diagnostic capabilities. These companies will not go out of their way to buy electric vehicles. If they have a diesel-powered loader or anything like that, they're keeping the thing. Diesel engines run, take care of them. They run for a long time. They're not going to go out and go, oh, well, we'll blow some money on some electric vehicles. Not unless it's absolutely necessary. So they're going to keep their vehicles. Maintenance scheduling constraints prevent accommodation of equipment failures that halt production, creating high-pressure environments where technician expertise directly impacts operational continuity. This operational reality intensifies recruitment competition as companies seek technicians capable of minimizing downtime through preventative maintenance and rapid repair completion. Yeah, okay, you say that. Sometimes it's hard to minimize downtime. It's like if you tell the operations guy, hey, I have to take this machine down for an hour to get this changed out, They usually don't let you do that. They're like, nope, just let it go. And then when it breaks down and it takes, 5 hours to fix the thing, then they're looking at you like you're the idiot. And it's like, you know what? I'm the one that wanted to take the machine down for an hour and get this done, but you didn't. So, yeah, that's what you face out there. You got snow, but it lasted an hour because it's 64 effing degrees. 64? That's pretty good. I think last time I checked, we were at 33 or 34. Yeah, exactly, guys. Downtime is future me's problem. Never mind the me that wants to do it now. I'm actually having that argument right now with my plant manager. It's like, hey, this motor is on its way out. We need to change it out, but I'm going to need myself and 2 other guys to help me change this motor because it's 330 pounds. So we need a way to support the motor to lift it from it because it's mounted on the side of a wall. So it's mounted on the side. We have to take this motor down, take the shiv off, put it on the new motor, put the new motor up, which is 330 pounds. We're going to use a floor jack, but he doesn't realize how long it's going to take because this is a big operation where, if that motor falls on somebody, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt somebody badly. So we have to I want to build a proper jig for it. I want to make it so that it's not going to hurt anybody. It's, what is it now? It's explosion-proof 40 horse, I believe. No, wait, 15 horse. But it weighs 330 pounds. Yeah, Fabric. Maintenance 1 hour now to avoid 3 days later. Yep. And that's what you get told when you're in maintenance. When you're in maintenance and you're like, hey, I'd like to do this. I'm going to be down for like just this little bit of time to get it done. And they're like, no, can you wait till later? And it's like, all right, I tried. I'm, unless I have a boss that's going to go to bat for me. It's like the operations are usually the guys that are production, whoever you want to call them. They're the ones that call the shots as to whether their machinery is down or not. Ketha, you also got snow here in north of Sweden. Is -3. Explosion proof, it's a D-rated 20 or 25. Oh, cool. That's cool. I didn't know that, Godzilla. Yeah, we have to do explosion proof where I'm at. When you're going from a regular motor to an explosion proof motor, just add $1,000 on top. That's usually what it is. Because I've been ordering them enough to know that if I need explosion proof, $1,000 more. -3, eh, Ketha? -3 Celsius? Let me check and see what it is here right now. I can tell you in a second what it is here. Oh, it's 0 Celsius right now. Okay, yeah, it's 0 Celsius here. Right this second. That's how they keep the skin temp down on explosion proof. They just derate a larger motor. Okay, doesn't have to work as hard. It's not going to make as much heat. It's more heat because it doesn't have to work as hard. I think Ketha is in Sweden, north of Sweden. So the rest of the world uses Celsius, not Fahrenheit. There, Fabric. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Automation system specialists represent newly essential roles, combining traditional mechanical troubleshooting with sophisticated digital mining operations. These positions require a programmable logic controller or PLC programming, robotics operation, integration skills, safety system validation for autonomous equipment deployment, and remote operation vehicle system management. Cybersecurity analysts protect interconnected operational technology as systems vulnerable to cyber threats capable of halting production or compromising worker safety. Mining operations now depend on industrial control networks, required specialized protection protocols different from traditional information technology. Hey, these guys should get a hold of Cisco, eh? fabric you outside so the thermometer is out in the yard. Yeah. There are two types of countries, those that use Celsius and those that have landed on the moon. That's true. That's true. Canada only started using the metric system in the late 1970s. They were switching over in 1977, I believe. Existing trades now require hybrid skill sets, combining traditional craftsmanship with digital literacy. Electricians must understand programmable logic controllers. I thought those were instrumentation techs. I thought those guys should know about PLCs. I mean, electricians don't know like the basics, but I think instrumentation techs should be able to, know way more about that stuff. Alongside conventional wiring systems, while mechanics work with computerized diagnostic systems whilst maintaining expertise in traditional mechanical troubleshooting. A significant portion of Ontario's mining workforce was hired during commodity booms spanning the 1970s through the 1990s. This demographic cohort approaches retirement simultaneously, creating knowledge transfer challenges alongside numerical workforce reductions. Experienced workers possess institutional knowledge about specific mining operations, equipment quirks, and safety protocols, developed through decades of hands-on experience. Their simultaneous retirement creates training gaps extending beyond technical skills to include operational wisdom, difficult to replicate through formal education programs. Some PLC software can use Python and C++ languages today. Okay, I think I've heard of Python and C and C++. Maybe electricians just need to know how to not overload a PLC. Zing! That's right. Take that, you Sparkies. Mining districts concentrated in Northern Ontario face unique recruitment challenges due to remote locations and local population bases. Workers often must relocate significant distances for mining careers, creating barriers for candidates with established community ties or family obligations. Remote mining operations offer limited amenities and social infrastructure compared to urban centers, making long-term workforce retention challenging. Like I said before, nobody wants to stay up north because you're staying in a work camp and you go stir crazy. And I've heard of guys going crazy. Companies compete not only for skilled workers, but for individuals willing to commit to geographic isolation inherent in resource extraction locations. In addition, transportation infrastructure limitations compound these challenges as workers in remote mining districts depend on company-provided transportation or personal vehicles capable of navigating challenging terrain and weather conditions. Yeah, some of these places are like fly in, fly out. And it's like, oh, you can't just easily leave. According to Stanley Kubrick, yes, they did. How dare you suggest the camera already on the moon filming the first steps were staged? Fabric, when you were driving home this morning, it was 36 and pouring snow. The freeze-thaw winter is driving me... Yeah, I don't like it either. The roads were very treacherous this morning. It was very hard to get started from a red light trying to move. But at least in the afternoon, it was a lot better. So yeah, this just keeps going on and on about how they're having a hard time, but we want to, what are they going to do about it? Huh. Anyways, that's the problem in Northern Ontario. Having trouble keeping people working in the mines. What else we got here? Reliable Plant Magazine, maintenance retention, staffing and scheduling, filling the workforce gap. You talk about Mike Rowe. Fabric, C had to you had to use it to create a program to bypass the security on your dozer to update the firmware to avoid paying International Harvester $37,000 for an update. Hey, good for you for doing that though. Right on, man. Not gonna pay that much for a firmware update on your bulldozer. Ridiculous. Yeah, sorry, you can't use your tractor without a costly firmware update. Like hell I can't. All right, what do you say we get by this article and head right for accident time? It's accident time. This one, this is from April 10th of 2018. Worker fatally injured from a scissor lift tip over. These are always terrible. When you're using an aerial platform, like a scissor lift or a genie boom or whatever it happens to be, there's always a chance you could get pitched out of it and flip over, especially if you're moving when it's high up in the air. So let's have a look here. A worker was using a scissor lift to change light bulbs near a production line. The scissor lift tipped over. The worker was ejected and received fatal injuries. Oof. Please tell me it wasn't on a raft in the middle of a swimming pool. I saw that picture. Can-Am Buildings and Structures is a business unit of Can-Am Group, manufacturing company who specializes in design, construction solutions, and custom manufactured products since 1961. Calgary Can-Am plant manufactures steel joists, girders, and decks. Can-Am acquired the Calgary plant in 1996. Can-Am has 25 plants in Canada and North America. The incident occurred in Shop 3 production area of the Calgary plant. Wilco Health and Safety is a safety consulting company that provides occupational health safety and industrial hygiene services. Wilco has been in operation for approximately 11 years. They've provided service to Can-Am for over 6 years. The maintenance worker was an electrician who had been employed by Can-Am since February 2016. The maintenance worker had current training for operating elevated work platforms and had experience performing the incident task. You sail the 7 seas for the love of no heavy equipment manufacturer can stop me. Screw you, John Deere. Godzilla, you were out in the country and passed a drunk with a flatbed trailer. The genius put a ladder on the flatbed trailer to give himself that extra few feet to reach the roof. Darwin wept. Oh. Oof. That's not what you thought when you said scissor lift accident. They don't just happen at the Beaver Hut. Scissor lift incident, a WNBA story. The equipment was a GS 2623 scissor lift. Just by that model number, sounds like it was one of the smaller ones. Usually that's the height and the width of the genie, the scissor lift. So 26, it can go up 26 feet and 23 inches wide. Was used by the maintenance worker to access the light fixtures to change the light bulbs. The scissor lift is a type of elevating work platform used to access areas at height. The elevating work platform is raised and lowered vertically by linked folding supports in a crisscross pattern. At the time of the incident, the top rail of the scissor lift was elevated approximately 6.24 meters. That's about 20 feet. Oh, and there it is. The scissor lift in the extended position and jigged line 2, new line. Okay. So nothing looks out of place right here. He was must have been changing these lights up here, these high bay lights. If he was in where the extension is, you should be able to stand on that okay. Okay, let's see here. The light fixture is approximately 6.5 meters above the floor. So yes, 20 feet, 21 feet. The light fixture was positioned above the rails for the overhead cranes. The light fixture involved in the incident was located above the west side of the jig line. Yes, obviously the lights are going to be above the crane. You don't put them below the crane because the crane will run into it. The new line was a production line that ran north to south. Workers on the new line welded components of metal joints. Okay, well, there it is there. That's the thing there. Sad part is, you know, the guys that write these reports probably have templates for scissor lift accidents. Oh, probably. It's like, well, what happened this time? You might be wrong, but that looks like a slight incline going down towards the right. I'm not sure yet, Veritex. The overhead cranes, there were 4 stall overhead cranes near the incident area. 3 cranes, 5, 6, and 7, were on a rail system located above the new line and the area north of the jig line. 1 crane, crane number 2, was on a rail system over the line that was west of the new line. Crane 2 is not in operation at the time of the incident. The cranes were 5-ton single girder cranes. Okay, nothing too crazy there. There they are. There's the picture of the cranes. They're way down at the other end. In fact, you might even want to lock those out so that they can't come and get you. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. The sequence of events here. On Tuesday, April 10th, the maintenance worker reported for work for their 3:30 p.m. to a 12 a.m. shift. Oh, he was afternoon shift. That's awful. Maintenance worker was assigned the task of changing light bulbs in the shop 3 building. At 4:10 p.m., the maintenance worker drove the scissor lift into Shop 3 building to change light bulbs. The maintenance worker approached Jig Line 2 with the scissor lift. The maintenance worker spoke to Jig Line workers and waited for them to move the crane they were operating. After the crane was moved, the maintenance worker approached the north end of the jig line from the west side. A danger, do not enter, men working overhead sign was placed on the south side of the scissor lift next to Jig Line 2. The scissor lift was situated perpendicularly to the west side of the jig line, with the control panel section of the scissor lift closest to the jig line. The worker raised the top rail of the scissor lift to approximately 6.24 meters. The platform located on the front end of the scissor lift was extended approximately 0.87 meters. 0.87 meters, what is that? Like 3 feet. Maybe 2.5. At approximately 4:45, the workers in the area heard a bang and saw the scissor lift had fallen over. One worker saw the scissor lift falling. However, the worker did not see what caused the scissor lift to fall. The scissor lift landed on its right side, partially in the aisle and partially on a production line. The maintenance worker had been ejected from the scissor lift and received serious injuries. A worker called 911 and another worker informed the night shift supervisor. Workers trained in first aid attended to the maintenance worker. Emergency medical services, the Calgary Fire Department and Calgary Police Service attended. The worker was transferred by EMS to Foothills Medical Center. Maintenance workers succumbed to their injuries in the early morning of April the 11th. Review of the enforcement action was completed, and it was determined that prosecution or administrative penalty was not appropriate based on the circumstances surrounding the incident. So we don't even know why, but he tipped over sideways, it says. The scissor lift landed on its right side. So, did a crane hit it? Was somebody operating it and didn't pay attention and just smacked the scissor lift? That could possibly be, because in order to reach those lights, you got to go up very high. Sounds like ghosts are a cover. Yeah, somebody's not saying something. My crime-solving skills are nil, but this segment turns me into a Columbo. Just one more thing, sir. Just one more question, sir. Good old Peter Falk, eh? Murphy tip number 37, don't do donuts in the scissor lift. Yes, exactly. No, if this thing went sideways, yeah, it was hit. I mean, it's a concrete floor, so there shouldn't be any dips or divots. I'm not saying there can't be, but there usually isn't. You've got your stabilizers that fold out from underneath. In case you guys don't know, there are stabilizers. When you lift up that scissor lift, the stabilizers come down, and they help hold it steady. You know, you also try not to drive when you're in the raised position. That's another thing that can throw you out or knock this thing over, is if you're driving while you're extended high up like that. I know it sometimes can't be helped, but that's usually what causes the accidents. I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cranes, and you're right in the pathway of them. So unless you lock them out, and I would lock out these two that are closest. I'd be like, hey, can you guys get by with using those ones? Don't use these ones. Yeah, once you said they should probably lock out those cranes, your spidey sense went off. I mean, it makes sense to me. I've been in maintenance a lot of years. This is going to be my 30th year of being in the millwright trade. I started back in 1996 as an apprentice, and I've seen a lot of stuff go down. A lot of dumb things I did too, like stuff you couldn't get away with now, but back in the Wild West days, you just went ahead and did stuff. But yeah, I would think right away, somebody hit him with the crane. You don't care how high the scissor lift is, even if he's hanging off the edge, leaning to the side, it's not going to tip over. It takes a lot to knock those over. And they do have side force ratings. At least the Genie, the boom ones do. It should tell you how much it takes to tip it over. Yeah, it's 20 feet, no wind, stable surface. And if that's the light he was trying to get, I mean, he would have to have been closer to this line here. There's a guy standing there too. You guys see him? White hard hat, vest. Must be a manager, eh? Manager after the fact. But yeah, he's quite a ways away. Yeah, and Genie isn't some Chinesian brand. No, it's not. No, it's a well-known brand. It's made in the USA, I'm pretty sure. He's got like, I don't know, 3 feet there. He might have been trying to get that light. Because I don't see any other. I see one back here, but he would be back over here trying to get it. That's why this is extended, because he wanted to try to reach. Yeah, my guess is he got hit by a crane. I was hoping they'd show the aftermath of the accident of the Genie after it was laying on the ground. That would have been better. They usually do, I thought. Take pictures of the aftermath. Unless they stood it up again. Maybe they grabbed the cranes and lifted it back up. Maybe lifted off the guy, or just to lift it off any equipment it was laying over top of. It's ruined now. That Genie has to go away and get checked over. Maybe scrapped, but it's this thing's ruined now. It's been in an accident, so you got to take it away. Either send it back to whoever you rented it from, or yeah, it's got to go. That's what they probably do. They probably send it back to Genie. Yeah, something's fishy about this one. Oh well, I mean, that was it. That's all they said that happened. Scissor lift landed on its right side, partially in the aisle and partially on a production line. Oh wow. Okay, so it landed on this line. So they would have picked it up because they couldn't continue on with production. I mean, after something like that happens, I think you stop. You have a stand down. Everybody should have like a safety stand down, and they should stop work for like an hour or 4 hours or something like that. Especially if the EMS is there and the fire department, they want to do an investigation. OSHA should have came in and did an investigation. Yeah, did it say they came in? Yeah, EMS, the police department, the fire department. No, that was it. I still feel like they should have written a little bit more about this, about what was going on here. Almost like they didn't get the whole story. Anyways, if you guys are working in aerial platforms like a genie, a scissor lift, or a boom, an articulated boom, or a straight boom even, be careful. If you're using a scissor lift, don't drive around with yourself way up in the air. You know, if you have to move places, come down, drive to where you got to go, and then go back up again. No big deal. It's not quicker. It's not safer. Go down, drive to where you got to go, then go back up. This almost seems like a supervisor manager screwed up. The line worker would have been protected, management, so not so much. Yeah. Maybe we'll never know. We'll never hear what exactly happened. But that's a shame. Getting pitched out of a scissor lift or any kind of aerial platform. You're up in the air. Those the straight boom ones, those can act like catapults. You got to be careful when you're driving those around outside. Because, you know, you hit any dips or bumps or go off curbs and it'll eject you out of there. Which is why you always use a short 4-foot lanyard in your harness, no matter what. That way you won't get pitched out. And you use a 4-footer because if you use something longer, you can still get pitched out and then you're going to hang there outside of the basket. So you're in bigger trouble. Nothing about it makes exactly I know. Nothing about it. I can't even put two and two together here to figure out what actually happened. And they didn't take enough pictures. But yeah. All right, well, that's it for that accident investigation. You got nervous watching the video of me climbing that tower to change the light bulb? You don't do heights unless you're stomping through Tokyo? Yeah, hey, we'll bring that one around again sometime. If enough guys ask about it, we'll bring around the video of me climbing the 200-foot tower. I'm glad I did it, but man, forearms were sore after that. That was quite the climb. Like, holy. All right. Well, you know what time it is now, don't you? It's picture time. It's picture time. And this will go with the theme that I wrote for the title of the stream, which was a bit of a blast. But before that, any guesses as to, we're going to play Guess That Background, being the anime fan that I am, and because the other ones I've put up before were way too easy, I'm putting out for guesses of which anime is this character from? I already gave out a hint, it's from the 90s. So if you guys you guys can throw your guesses in the chat there as to which anime show is this character from. Now that was a trouble light. Yeah. Everybody likes the trouble light with the hole drilled in it. Or you talk about her being a trouble light. Anyways, let's get started. Let's see, I'll find that, here we go. Yes, what I was working on today. Your first thought was from Slayers, but that's not it. No, it's not Lena Inverse. And it's not from Slayers. All right. So, I am having a blast. A sand blast, that is. And these are the parts. Remember that railing I showed you guys last week? Well, this is I cut these out of a piece of plate with a torch. And You still don't know? You still don't know since Sundays? That's okay, Katha. No problem. You still don't know since Sunday? No, that's fine. We'll see if anybody can get it. The time Peach stole Bowser's balls. Nope. Was there one called, you think the translation was don't fight a girl with a basketball? Nope. Nope. She's holding a basketball, but that has nothing to do with the anime. I'll give you another hint. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. It's from the 90s. She's an android. Fabric, you hate sandblasting? Well, I'll tell you right now. I had my respirator on and my earmuffs because that's what I do to keep myself safe on that. So here we go. And I always have to write stuff on there so guys don't throw stuff away. So I put it on there. Keep, it's for the railing. Yep, keep railing, DJ Ronnie G. That means keep this piece, it's for the railing. The sandblaster's not working that well. I think I might need to change the nozzle on it. So I'll have to look and see if I have spare parts for that. Because fixing things also means keeping your own tools in repair. You know, you want to keep them in good shape. I believe it's like an abrasive. Manus Abrasive sells it. I think it is sand. I don't think it's beads. I'm taking the rust off because I have to do some layout. So I'm going to be doing some scribing some lines, using some punches to mark where some holes need to go, and then I'm going to drill the holes. And we do both sides. Because afterwards you paint it so that it's after you weld it on, then you paint it. So you want a good surface prep for the paint. You don't want rust underneath the paint. DJ, you thought about getting compressor and a sandblaster? I mean, if you're going to use it a lot, I would. Or there might be places where you can just go pay them to use it. Yeah, it's not doing as well. Like, the performance should be a lot better. So I got to check that. Check if I've got some parts to replace on that handle. You read you can get dust bowl sickness if you breathe the silica in without a... Yeah, don't inhale silica dust. That's why I'm wearing my respirator. Even though this is enclosed, like we're looking through a glass right now. But some of it will still get out. So I wear a respirator, and like I said, it's because it's air, compressed air, and you're shooting it, it's loud, so I wear earplugs as well, or earmuffs. I think right now I added more sand. I thought maybe I was low on it, so I opened up the back and loaded up some sand during this time. You have paint prepped more times in your life than you care to remember. You learned to sand a car at 12. Wow. That is a skill in itself, Godzillionaire. If you can do body work and body prep for painting, it's if you're good at it, yeah, you can make some good money. Okay, I think I added more sand now, so I'm going to try it again and see if this makes an improvement. I thought maybe I was just low on sand. maybe a little better. Oh, no one said anything about bodywork. You just know how to take paint off a car. All right. Lots of sanding. Well, I figured you said sanding and then prep work would be like wet sanding the car for painting. Because apparently that's a thing to do. Supposed to give you a better finish. Take out all the imperfections in the metal. Godzillionaire can torch it, but the Geiger counter screams afterwards. Yeah. Uses that blast breath. Oh, you sandblasting the outbuildings before you paint them. Yeah, that's all right. That there's outdoor work, that one. Yeah, wet sanding for blending the paint. It's also when you do body work and such like that, you put Bondo or whatever into it and you sand that down. My gas monitor was going off because it was lack of oxygen, so I was probably because I'm wearing my respirator, it's directing my breath rate on it, so it's showing low oxygen. So I just took it and put it in my pocket. Didn't need it in the shop anyway. Yeah, that chirping was my monitor going off, my gas monitor. Use wet sanding on parts you're not repairing. It helps you blend the paint color with undamaged parts with the repaired parts. Ah, there we go. There's a guy that knows his stuff. I did work in a paint factory for a year and a half when I first came to this province. My first job was doing maintenance in a paint factory. They made industrial coatings. And it was a 2-part epoxy paint. Really tough stuff they would sell to the oil field. So that was pretty interesting. I like learning about that. But this was deadly. This was deadly stuff too. I think it was paint with like isocyanate in it, so it's like you wear like supplied air to put this stuff on. That's how deadly it is. And we made also the paint thinners and stuff we'd use. So we had acetone and benzene and all that other kind of good chemicals, methyl ethyl ketone and stuff like that on site. Then we had paint stripper, and that stuff you had to be under supplied air because that would go right through your respirator cartridge. That's how deadly. That's how awful this paint stripper stuff was. It would strip paint off, but it also strip your lungs out too while I was at it. The good old days when you could use MEK. Yep. I'm glad I got out of there. I'm glad I got out of the paint factory and went and worked in waste management for like the other 15 years there. Paint factory was just ugh. So yeah, it takes a bit to get all the rust off. Strip your soul. I'll stick to the Beaver Hut. It isn't safer, but the fumes are... Just because it smells like perfume, right, Fabric? There we go. That's all 3 of them. There we go. Do you ever deal with vibrating media machines? Usually OEM stuff remove burrs from new parts, but plastic media in a washing machine with new parts. No, I haven't dealt with any of those before. And next up, here's what I did after I had those all marked. I didn't show you guys me marking them, laying them out and using my center punch and all that to locate the holes. But here we go, putting it in the old drill press. So setting things up properly. Got to make sure we locate the hole. And you always start out with a pilot drill. And a pilot drill is just a smaller drill to get the hole started. And usually you get that pilot drill so that it's the size of the chisel point of the larger drill that you're going to drill the final size with. That is so a golf ball on the drill press handle. You bet it is. Okay, so we'll get that set up. You got to make sure it's located correctly, like right above where it's punched. So I'm just trying to make adjustments to get it in the right spot. Toutou, oui, la parfum, toutou. You will refrain from pilot drill jokes. Yeah, well, you can make them, but I don't know if you'd be banned or not. So just some fine adjustments here. Setup is the whole... Drilling takes no time at all, but the setup is what takes the longest time. Have I talked about keyed chucks and keyless chucks before? No, I haven't. That could be a topic of... an interesting topic to cover. So you always try to test it out, and it's like, okay, well, that doesn't seem to be quite squared up. Golf ball on the armature. Yeah, it is. Check it. Check it some more. Line it up there. And I'm using a 1/4-inch drill bit because that's a good size. And we give it lots of rapid tap. I am the law. There we go. And it brought up that nice long chip there. That's always good to see. Like that. And you always go down and up, try to clear the hole of any chips. And it helps break it off too, so you don't have a giant long chip that's coming out at you. So you do that. 1/4 inch because the metric system is dumb. Yeah, what am I going to use? A 6 mil? Come on. It's 1/2 inch thick material, so it's a ways to go through. There we go. And we're through. Grab our brush. Because you don't want to get stabbed by a chip. Chip, 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 chip and Dale. Rescue Rangers. That's right. We'll turn it around. We'll line it up for the next one. Only 2 holes per pad. Put some music to this drill footage and you'll get age restricted. I had to turn the shop radio down so that I didn't get dinged with anything because it's playing the local radio station and it's I'm like, oh, I don't want to get dinged as I'm recording here. You got to try to keep things nice and flat. You recommend the Guts theme to confuse the sensors? Okay, yeah. Once again, just lining it up because it's important. Get that hole in the right spot. These holes will eventually be drilled 9/16 because I'm going to be using a 1/2 inch anchor. So I want to give a little bit of room so that when it's outside and I'm going to be drilling, I'll have enough room to put the drill bit through. So we're going to use a hammer drill, Hilti brand. Oh, okay. You can see a little bend in the drill bit, so it needs a little more adjustment. Now you got the Guts theme stuck in your head? Or the intro music to Isekai Cheat Magician? Also, God's in there. We're taking your advice, and the wife and I are going to watch Fire Force together. Get that in the right spot. Make some adjustment. Put our oil on there. Well, I forgot to do this before. Put the guard across. My bad. Bad pop. I forgot. But this time I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, we got to put this guard across. The Guts theme is the ultimate bait and switch on any anime ever. Gotta watch Fire Force, that ending. Yes, we will. The little woman and I are going to take a break from watching The Streets of San Francisco, and we'll watch Fire Force instead. There you go. And that guard's doing its job, stopping the chips from getting into our face. And I'm doing the same thing as going in and coming back out again to clear it from any chips there. Drill presses have guards. What kind of Maple Leaf madness is this? Freaking company policy is what it was. They're like, oh yeah, you need a guard on here. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll get one. It's either that or arrived from corporate, and it's like, here, put this on your drill press. It's like, okay. Yeah, there we are. 2 holes drilled in the plate. Next up, plate number 2. What's worse is none of us noticed the missing guard. Yeah, it's not something that's quite common on drill presses. Like, this is the first time I've ever used a drill press with a guard on it like that. So it's new. It's a new thing. I don't know if it'll be anywhere else or anybody else will have one, but that's what they wanted. You're going to pause Tony Franciosa? No, Streets of San Francisco is Carl Malden, Michael Douglas. I think we're going to pause after season 3. So we're almost at the end of season 3. We'll do that, and then we'll watch Fire Force on Godzillionaire's recommendation. You don't think your drill press had one? Probably not. Like I say, this is the first one I've seen that does. There we are. Nice chip. Like, that's making a good chip. Always make sure you use lots of lubrication for it as well. You don't want it to overheat and get rid of your edge, your cutting edge. Rapid Tap's really good. If you haven't used Rapid Tap, that's some good stuff. Also, depending on the hardness of your material, like this is just regular mild steel. So we don't need anything too fancy of a drill bit. I know some will have a 118 degree point on them, and others will have, like for harder stuff, it'll be a 135 degree. You know, and you can get cobalt ones, or you can get, you know, just your regular jobber bits. Just regular high-speed steel. Oh, phone's ringing. So I went and got the phone because nobody else was around to get the phone. So there you go, fellas. That's what's going on so far. Now remember, those plates are for the railing, so it's a slow process. I'm going to get all the plates taken care of, and then once that's happened, I'll cut off the old ones, weld on the new ones, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how it goes. You rarely use rapeseed oil, but you spit on it first. I wonder if I can give you another hint to this. I think I might have stumped you guys, though, because no one's come close to what show this is. It's a TV series. It's had an OVA. I think it had a couple of OVAs, but the one I watched only had 6 or 7 episodes. Let's see. I'm just going to look and see. Vampire basketball? Nah, not quite, DJ. You'll ask someone who may know. Is it Reggie? Are you going to ask Reggie? I think Reggie had a hard time. You're going through your 90s collection tonight and blaming my lack of sleep on you. Well, I have best of luck to you, Fabric. I am going to just see if I can give you guys just another slight hint. I don't know what hint. What would be a good hint to give you guys? Produced by? No. It was in the top 10 of the early 1990s. Is in the top 10 of the early 1990s. So between 1990 and 1994, let's say. Because that's early. And then mid is like 95, 96. Put the pick out to a friend who might know. Oh, okay, DJ. We shall see. If they guess, you humbly request one verbal shout out to their channel. Drop their link if you're cool with the work. Sure. Why not? Why not? Do we have a Discord server? Are you afraid I might post hint? Of course I have a Discord server. I just got to remember how to do the link there. How the heck do I do that again? I think I go like this. There it is. There's the link to my Discord. Or you can always go to my Annie list. Or there's always Twitter, or X as they call it now. It'll always be Twitter to me. It was Twitter for 20 years. You've shared their link before without issue? Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know who. Someone who's very anime savvy, I'm guessing. I'm going to start to wrap things up here, though, fellas. Just want to thank you all for coming out today. Everyone that showed up, I appreciate you. Like DJ Ronnie G, of course, and Ketha. Fabric Folds, our resident veterinarian. Large breed, that is. Godzillionaire, everyone's favorite kaiju. Veritax. And Carl, who is out doing DoorDash. It was nice seeing Carl there. And, well, anyone else who was lurking and listening, I thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you come by. We always have a fun time. Is Fabric joining the Discord server? Release the madness! I don't know. If he is, give him a big welcome. Don't forget, guys, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends and spread the word. Let them know old Pop's here. I'm here Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So in the mornings for me, Mountain Time on the weekends. Best time for me to stream. But when I'm not streaming, there's other great people to visit. People such as Pacific 414 or DJ Ronnie G, who is in the chat. You can go and pay him a visit on Thursday. There's Brandon the Anime Guy. There's Kyle. He was in the chat too. You can always visit him when he's coming back in June to stream. There's also the Comic Relief Crusader who's streaming right now, I believe. He does Titillating Tuesdays, same time as I do. And he also streams on Saturdays and Sundays, but at noon Mountain Time. So after me. You won't post hentai, but you will post some Canadian stories you find. Ah, that's good, Fabric. I appreciate that. You won't do any list because you already know what's on that. Yeah, there you go, DJ. Pacific 414, Mike, he's been playing Mass Effect on Tuesdays. So he's experiencing the joy of Mass Effect. Oh, as far as streamers go, there's also Infinite Metal. He usually streams on Tuesdays as well, and Fridays and Saturdays. Really fun streamer. I have a good laugh when I'm watching Infinite Metal. And then there's a VTuber. She's family friendly, very warm and welcoming. Her name is Call Me Kixie, and she streams on Twitch on Saturdays, usually in the afternoon, but for a long time. So you'll definitely catch her if you go to Twitch and type in Call Me Kixie. All one word. She always plays indie games and shows them a lot of indie games. So it's a fun time. I enjoy it. Yep, Comic Relief Crusader. Thanks, DJ, for throwing the links in there. Mike Pacific will do Pop Talk tomorrow. There you go. You get Pacific 414 Pop Talk with Mike. And usually Cash and Baron Ormond Tag are his cohorts. So they usually have a good time. Anyways, I am interested in hearing if your friend can guess this correctly, DJ. You'll have to let me know via Discord whether they guess right. Wish you had time to watch everything you wanted. I know, eh, Fabric? Seems like there just is there's no time. Oh, do you want to see CRC raid? But it's probably just you. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome in. CRC, how you doing? Yeah, we're just wrapping things up here. Just saying my goodbyes to everyone, and I was just going to give them a... well, first they have to guess which show this picture's from. And they're working on it. Some guys aren't going to get any sleep tonight because they're going to be looking through their collections. Pop just tried to send us to raid you. Yes, I'm going to have a look here. Just give me a second. Get that. And completed. And right here, my recommendation, if you want giant robots and girls with giant personalities, watch Gravion from, when was it? 2002. It's only 13 episodes. There is a sequel, but you don't have to watch that one, but Gravion. I've already completed it. Looks like Brandon's planning, and so is Alex Moore. He's planning as well. But I've already completed. I gave it a 7 out of 10. You missed the start. So funny. Better hurry before YouTube takes it down. Yeah. They're always so They're always so good at doing that, aren't they? Taking stuff down. Anyways, watch Gravion if you get a chance. Just watch the first episode. Tell me what you think. It's mecha. It's girls operating mecha. It's good stuff. Once more, guess the background. Let me know. You guys have the link to the Discord. I am wrapping things up now. I will be coming up. I almost forgot. Coming up on Saturday. I'm thinking it's going to be the final Odin Sphere stream, because I think it's the last dragon of Armageddon. So that's Saturday coming up. I'm excited. This should be the end of Odin Sphere. And then coming up on Sunday, it's all about the 90s anime. Yes, April is all 90s all the time for anime. We're going to check out some shows that you have seen before, some really good gems, and some ones that are really obscure that maybe you haven't heard of or even seen. But they're going to be there. And I hope you're there too. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Anime. And then, of course, Tuesday will roll around again, and we'll do this all over again. You'll be at your favorite industrial stream, which is Trades Talk. Tell your friends about it. If they like the trades like I like the trades, tell them to come on over and let's talk about the trades. It's important. I'll be playing Odin Sphere for the next 3 months. No, this has got to be the end. Holy crap. Comic Relief Crusader. Catgirl Nuku Nuku. He gets it. He gets it. Look at that. I can't believe I have to change my picture now. I have to change it. The Comic Relief Crusader has come through, guessed the background. It indeed is all-purpose cultural Catgirl Nuku Nuku. A fun OVA to watch. There's an OVA. It's 6 episodes. That's it. Like, do yourself a favor. Watch the OVA. 6 episodes long. You'll be rolling around laughing. It's so funny. Yeah, you do know your stuff, CRC. Good for you. Well then. This went for a little while, but I'm going to have to dig deep into my repertoire and come up with something else. Good job, CRC. And no, Godzillionaire, Odin Sphere should end this Saturday. It better. It's got to be. It's Armageddon. It's the last boss. Yes, well done, everybody. Thank you for playing. I'll have a different one on Saturday. Stop by on Saturday to see what's the new background. As soon as you said it, you knew. It looks like Sleep's back on SS menu, boys. Sleep's back on the menu, boys. Yeah, you love that anime? Me too, CRC. It was good. It was really good. But that's going to be it for me tonight, everyone. I had a fun time, and I hope you did as well. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you the next time I'm streaming, which will be on the weekends. Saturday, Sunday, 9 a.m. sharp. Make sure you're there. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.